Have you ever caught yourself stuck in a loop like this? I want to be true to myself, but I also don't want to disappoint my family. I believe we all have free will. Then, why does it feel like everything's already decided for me? I want to make a difference in the world, but honestly, does anything even matter? If any of that sounds familiar, you're not alone. These aren't just personal struggles, they're some of the biggest philosophical clashes in human history, battles of ideas that have quietly shaped how we think, how we feel, and how we live our lives every single day. From existentialism versus nihilism, to free will versus determinism, or individualism versus collectivism, these opposing schools of thought don't just live in theory, they live in our heads, and sometimes they fight. And this is how they work. Conflict number 1, materialism versus idealism. Materialism argues that the physical world comes first. Everything, including thoughts, emotions, and consciousness, arises from matter. Famous thinkers like Marx, Engels, and Lenin believed that the brain, not the soul, produces thoughts. In their view, if we want to understand society or human behavior, we must start with the material conditions: economics, biology, and environment. However, idealism holds that ideas, the mind, or even God, is the true foundation of reality. According to philosophers like Plato and Hegel, the physical world is just a shadow or expression of deeper, non-material truths. What we believe shapes what we perceive, and not the other way around. So, if someone is depressed, a materialist might point to chemical imbalances in the brain, lack of sleep, or nutritional deficiencies as the root causes. But an idealist might say that depression comes from a person losing their sense of purpose, spiritual disconnection, or struggling with inner beliefs, not just biology. That's the point. Was the universe born from matter, and our minds are just byproducts of evolution? Or did consciousness or divine ideas come first, shaping the physical world we live in? What's your thought? Conflict number 2, existentialism versus nihilism. Existentialist thinkers like Sartre, Kierkegaard, and Camus believed that while life might have no built-in meaning, we still have the freedom and responsibility to create our own. Even if the universe is silent, we must choose, act, and define ourselves through those choices. Meanwhile, nihilism, especially in the early work of Nietzsche or the pessimism of Schopenhauer, goes further. It says, nothing has meaning. Not love, not morality, not existence. There are no objective truths, just illusions. This is an example. After a painful breakup, an existentialist might say, this hurts, and maybe there's no cosmic reason for it. But I can grow from it, choose how I respond, and decide what kind of person I want to be. That same breakup, viewed through nihilism, might sound like, what's the point? Love doesn't mean anything. Life doesn't mean anything. None of it matters. That's how you look at the world. Conflict number 3, free will versus determinism. The idea of free will says that we are conscious agents who can make choices, and we are responsible for them. This belief underpins legal systems, morality, and personal development, the idea that you could have chosen differently. How about the other side? Determinism claims that everything, from your childhood trauma to your DNA and even the timing of your neurons firing, is already shaped by causes beyond your control. You're not choosing freely, you're reacting based on conditioning and biology. It feels like you're trying to quit smoking. A free will believer would say, you have the power to change. The decision is yours, and so is the responsibility. In that same smoking scenario, a determinist might say, your addiction is the result of years of environmental triggers and brain chemistry. It's not about willpower, it's about rewiring your brain. Conflict number 4, individualism versus collectivism. Talk about individualism. You know, this philosophy values the self above all. Your choices, happiness, and goals are yours alone. You exist independent of others. Common in Western cultures, it promotes personal freedom, self-expression, and independence. It's like you get a job offer in another state. An individualist mindset might say, take it, follow your dreams. You don't owe anyone your life decisions. How about the opposite side? Collectivism thought values the group over the individual. Family, culture, community, these come first. Often seen in Eastern cultures, it emphasizes duty, sacrifice, and interconnectedness. With the same job offer through a collectivist lens might lead to, but what about your parents? What about your role in the family? You shouldn't leave them behind. So, how about you guys? Are you here to live for yourself, chasing your personal goals, or do you exist to serve something greater than yourself, like family or community? Conflict number 5, deontology versus utilitarianism. Deontology, founded by Immanuel Kant, this theory says, morality is about doing what's right, no matter the outcome. There are universal principles, like don't lie or don't harm, and they must be followed, even if they create temporary harm. Imagine you're hiding a friend from danger. Someone knocks and asks, "Is your friend here?" A strict deontologist would say, "I cannot lie, even if telling the truth endangers them, because lying is morally wrong." Meanwhile, a utilitarian would lie without hesitation, thinking, if lying saves a life and minimizes harm, then it's the morally right thing to do. That's how utilitarianism runs. This philosophy, developed by Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, says, do whatever brings the greatest good for the greatest number. It's about outcomes, not rigid rules. Many, including us, wondered, should we follow moral principles no matter what, even if they lead to pain? Or should we bend the rules if it leads to better results for more people? Conflict number 6, Western philosophy versus Eastern philosophy. Western philosophy, rooted in ancient Greece and developed through Europe and the modern West, Western philosophy emphasizes rationality, logic, and dualism, the idea that things are either good or bad, right or wrong, body or mind. Philosophers like Plato, Descartes, and Kant believed that through reason and analysis, we can understand the world and shape it according to our will. This tradition often promotes the idea of individual agency, linear progress, and the belief that humans should master their environment. Eastern philosophy, originating from traditions like Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism, Eastern philosophy emphasizes harmony, balance, and intuition. Instead of trying to conquer or control the world, Eastern thinkers like Laozi, Confucius, and Buddha taught us to flow with the natural order, accept the impermanence of life, and understand our place as part of a greater whole. It focuses on cyclical thinking, collective identity, and the pursuit of inner peace, rather than external dominance. As we've seen, these philosophical ideologies don't just live in books, they live in us. They shape how we think, how we feel, how we choose, and how we carry the weight of being human. From materialism versus idealism, to individualism versus collectivism, or free will versus determinism. These ideas often pull us in opposite directions. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, there is no one-size-fits-all truth. Each of us must wrestle with these questions in our own way, and along the way, we discover who we are and what we stand for. Some may choose logic, others intuition. Some live for freedom, others for connection. And maybe the beauty isn't in picking a side, but in learning how to navigate the tension between them. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the clash of philosophies. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring the mind, the brain, and the ideas that shape our lives.